from town to town with a horse trailer dragging behind. Just a cowboy lost in a modern world. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Not a day goes by, don't think about how my life used to be. Now I'm out of my prime and I'm losing time, and nobody's calling for me. They used to call my name come roundup time. Now the four-wheelers takes my place, and the cowboy life that I've always loved is getting lost without a trace. But I won't give up and I won't give in. I'm a cowboy till I die. And I know there's got to be a place for me underneath big western sky. Headed out west, gonna do my best to leave the civilized world behind. Just me, my saddle, and an honest horse will try to go back in time, where surely there'd be a warm campfire or a bunkhouse calling my name. But tonight I'll sleep in my pickup truck, 'cause I'm still not playing their game. The world may turn, but the thing they can't change is the way I feel inside. A prairie fire may burn itself out, but you can't snuff a cowboy's pride. I'll be what I am and I'll do what I do. This life is worth fighting for. Yeah, the cowboy life is a life for me and 10,000 more. The cowboy life is a life for me.
Welcome back to True Horsemanship. You know, the last video I just did was working that little Andalusian mare over Wolf Trap Farms, and I explained how you do certain objects and how to get control of the feet and how to use the whole arena. And then I got a comment, oh, you shouldn't pull on a horse, yada yada yada. I'm not even going to get into all of it. But anyway, quite evident, I'm going to say it point blank, this woman didn't have a clue what the hell she was talking about. She's talking about bending the neck. Well, in this case, in order to get that horse to engage the front hind end, you got to pick up the shoulders, which in turn they get on and frame, as we call it. You keep your hands way low, they get bend at the withers, which make them heavy on the front end. And it's hard to do movements. So I was thinking about it, and I remember I had some old footage of Charlie a while back in his training. And this is the, not complete the end result, but where you head to doing them exercises. I mean, and it's unbelievable how people just don't get it. Like Margaret in California, she's got palmetto, or she had a palmetto, I don't know if she got it or not, but she has trouble. If she just did exercises like in that last video, that palmetto of hers would end up just like what Charlie is in this video. So basically, like I said, these are steps, and this is, like I said, at this point Charlie isn't finished off. Of course, I don't really believe in a finished horse anyway, but this is where you go to in a simple process that I did at the beginning. So I hope you enjoy seeing this again, and I'll be back and talk about further as we go along. Exercise And my gripe with English dressage is I've rehabbed enough dressage horses to know after about 5 years they start either bucking or exploding or something, because English people, most of them, especially on training level, they just grab that horse and just have hard contact with that horse, and then you've seen them all. They're thumping with their legs, thumping their legs. They try to get extended trot, but they're holding back with their mouth and thumping harder. And eventually that horse gets upset. But that's one thing the videos on cowboy dressage I really like, because the horses are soft and they're not thumping. They get judged. Like right now, Charlie's on the vertical. And he's fresh. I haven't ran him around. He's on the vertical and he's soft. Like right there, I stopped and I rolled backwards. Like I said, Charlie's fresh. I got a mare over there next to us. But he don't get to use that for excuse. So as you see, like I said, all them steps fall in place in this video. And you notice, like right here where I just backed him up, I just got contact with his mouth, but the reins, if you really look at them, they're soft. I mean, if you walked up next to me right then when the horse is backing up, you'd be able to pull down the excess. I just got enough contact to keep him in frame, because while he's in frame, it makes it easier for him, and them shoulders are up, it makes them easier to back up. And next, once we get more and more into the side passes, because side pass is one of my favorite exercises. Gets the horse thinking, you get control of the feet. But you ask, well, how do you do that? It's all like in that last video I did with the filly. How I flexed her, got her moving off my leg, and in time goes, I straighten her out more because she knows to move off that leg. Then I'll have control of her body. And it's a no-brainer. It makes it pretty simple. So with that said, let's get back to the video. Whichever way I want to go. If I want to go from the back, I should be able to back up. And you notice my hands and all not changing too much. On my trot, if I want to do a trot and half pass, and it's simple. I'm just controlling his body. And all horses you should be able to control. And all it is opening and shutting doors. That's to me, people will say, that's hard for me to do. Open this door and move that hip. Pass. I mean, and trotting half pass is great for lead changes. So if I want this way, then I'll go this way. So right there, he got a little lazy on me, and I just touched him with the whip. I cued him to go sideways, but all I do is open this door, and And just move his body over. Now my position on my foot, y'all hear all this all the time. For the half pass or side pass, if you got a west back earth on, it's real simple. I want to put pressure back here. Now, a lot of times people on that half pass, their horse will start dragging a little bit. In other words, their front end might get too far ahead. So all I would do, here's a real simple trick. And me and Ray had this discussion. He said, well, the horse is short start if you do that. If a horse's part of the body is like, let's say do this bad. I want to have him like that, where his shoulder is lagging behind. Or let's say his shoulder gets ahead. Charlie's getting so far advanced now, I can't even hardly make him screw up. He's doing what he thinks I'm asking him. But if I'm going to side pass this way, and let's say his shoulder is farther ahead than his hind end, some people will say, well, just move your foot back farther back to move that butt over more. Here's a simple trick. When you're doing that, just bring that other foot in a little bit, straighten them out. I want to just bring that other leg in. Bring the other leg in. Other leg in. Yeah, we're working on pee-off. You know, I have fun. To me, dressage is a word to mean have fun. And not to be scared about. You know, I mean, Charlie, you know, it's all given to pressure. That's all it is. But to me, you should be as soft as you possibly can. And that's why the videos I watch with cowboy dressage, that's the way it is. They're not holding the horses, you know, just grab a hold of them. Now, hand position. I want to keep my hands up here high, above my saddle horn. The reason being, I'm keeping their shoulders high, and they're going to flex at the pole. If you hold down here, they're going to flex at the withers too. But I don't want them to do that. So like I said, the half pass, and I always start at a trot. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And eventually we'll be doing that at a canter. But I don't stay just with that one maneuver right there. If he does it well, I'm going to just move that shoulder around and use this whole arena. And I want him soft to the bit. I want him engaged, but I don't want to be hanging on him. Now, if he's like right now, he's paying attention to that mare. I know where I want that head set. And he's got to be responsible for his own actions. In other words, if he gets the proper head set, that pressure is going to go away. But if he wants to push on my hands, that's not my problem. That's his. And I'm not going to say, poor little horsey, you're pushing on the bit, so I better let go of you. Not where Charlie's at, or any horse. I got my head set, and I expect him to come to my hands. I don't want to pull on him. Right there, he's throwing that head around. Oh, we just have started our canter half passes. But there's a fine example. He started pushing on that the bit. That's not my problem. That's his. So we'll do it again. There we go. Now right there, that second time, he didn't throw his head as much. Like I said, we just started this canter half passing. Now if I gave in to him at first, every time I go to do a canter half pass, he would throw that head. Like right there, that's pretty. Ooh. Now eventually, where he's at in training right now, I just want him to do a canter half pass. I'm not really worried about how perfect it is, because I'll start straightening him out. But none of this is hard. Do it again. Ooh. And right there, I try to take the other direction. And when I start changing it up from one direction to the other, I expect Charlie to go into a trot or something, because you know he doesn't know it. He didn't swap leads on me, but he went in a different direction. So what I'll do, I'll just keep practicing and practicing, and he'll start doing tempo lead changes, as we call them. But none of this, like I said, should be scared of. Now when I'm working on them type of movers, the most important thing I can do with Charlie is this: let him have his head. I'm not going to hold on to him. I'm not going to take that pressure. I'm going to take that pressure off of him, and I might rein him a little bit. In other words, instead of using my legs, I'm going to use my rein to direct him. Now if I put a leg on there, bingo, that's what happens. But he'll respond to that. Put my leg on there. There. Like I said, so if you got cowboy dressage in your area, try it. Don't be scared of it. I mean, they got pretty simple levels. But don't get hung up like so many English dressage people. I knew one person, she bragged that she was in dressage, dressage. And she's been at it for 5 years. And I said, well, what level are you? Oh, I'm still on training level number 1. It's like, what? If you're on training level number 1 in 5 years, you got a big problem. So like I said, this video more is just me and Cindy testing out the camera, but I thought it'd be interesting. Like even my movements. Like I said, I want to be able to do them softly too. Because Charlie, if you know, he gets a break, and then we'll go back to everything else. Now, like I said, half passing and be able to change directions will really help on your lead changes. Now, when I'm working on a horse to take correct lead, what I would do, gave myself plenty of room over here. So I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna side pass that way. Then I'm gonna side pass that way. The reason being, I'm telling him, think about side passing. So when I go the other direction, he's more apt to pick up the correct lead. And you do that, and then eventually all you gotta do is move that hip a little bit, and they'll be good. He's gotta bump it up. I can't I'm not gonna sit here and do trot and half passes with him for 5 years, and then, oh, maybe today you're ready for a canter half pass. He's gonna do the same thing. No matter where I start that half pass, he's got it at a trot. That's fast enough so he can learn it. And now we'll incorporate it in a canter. And it won't take long. He's already doing it not too bad. He wants to throw that head a little bit and fight me. But that's his problem. I hold my hand steady. If he does it correctly, everything's good. I mean, shoot, we do that with our kids now. Don't make them responsible for their own actions. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay out of that. So there you go. You know, that's a while back. That's when we just start leading up into the canter half pass. And Charlie did it. No, it wasn't perfect, but with all the steps, and it all started like in that last video I showed with that mare. Don't do that, and then you have trouble. You do that and get them to the point where they're really soft on that bit, like Charlie is 99.9% of the time, and then the rest of it comes easy. You know, to me these movements aren't hard. They're pretty easy. But you gotta make sure you hit all your steps before you get to a certain point. And like you hear me say quite often in all my videos, number one, the horse has got to be responsible for their own actions. My job is to talk loud, clear, and be fair to them. And when they do the right thing, the pressure is off of them. And I got to hold it steady. If I get the mindset, poor little horsey, you know, doesn't mean to be cruel. It just means to be steady. And at times you got to be firm. And I don't mean hit on them, I mean just hold your ground. So like I said, this is this video, I can't remember when was this shot, but it was a while back. And like I said, it's heck, it's a joy for me to watch it over again. I mean, thinking back for how far Charlie's came, and looking at Mary's video, because that's, like I said before, that's where we started. So people, I'm going to say this again. It's not get my point's not getting across, and I've shown in so many videos. People say, well, how do you do what you do? I get control of their feet. It's that simple. Like I said, I talk loud and clear to them, let them know what I want and what I expect to them. I treat them with respect, but I expect that to, in turn, towards me. So it's easy. I don't treat horses as dogs. They're not my girlfriend. They're a horse. I love the horses for what they are, a horse. They're simple-minded. They live in the moment. I'm not saying they're dumb, but they think simply. Humans get in the damn way too much. Of course, everybody wants to be an expert. You know, I'm 69 years old at this point. I've been on the back of a four-legged animal since I was 7 years old. And I've worked with people in the past, taught me things. But basically, mostly the horses taught me. I listened. And like I said in one video about Dusty, my first little pony, he taught me more. He taught me how to put a sliding stop on a horse. He taught me the importance of moving that hip. He taught me the importance of being patient. You know, looking back, thinking about Dusty, he taught me one most important thing. And once in a while I forget. But I can look back at Dusty and remind me. Have fun with what you're doing. That's this video is canter half passes and such, and getting control of the horse's feet like Charlie is in this video. Well, like I said, that was a while back. I'm having fun. Dusty, one of the main things I did, I had fun with him. I went and found an old baby carriage. Dusty never pulled anything in his life. And I didn't think about it. I hooked up, made a harness out of rope, driving reins out of rope, and I jumped in that baby carriage, and I had fun. But even then, I had enough sense. There was a slight hill. I got out of that baby carriage because I didn't have no damn way to stop it. But I had fun. Teaching Dusty to buck on cue, I had fun. Like Larry Mahan, he was talking one time, was talking about horses that just thrown buck, and we were both a lot younger then. He said, yeah, but it's fun, isn't it? And my younger days, at times, I enjoyed a good bucking horse. But not so much now. So, you know, it's been 13, 14 years I started this YouTube stuff. I've covered about everything. And at times it wasn't pretty. But it was real. All my videos are real. Sometimes they get a little, don't go the way I expect them to go because I'm dealing with an animal. And I'm going to handle the problem when it comes up. So, you know, I enjoy making these. I wish I'd make more of them like I used to, but since I moved to Tennessee, it's just, you know, it's hit and miss. I'm sorry. So, with that said, as I always say, be true to the horse, and they'll be true to you. And I really mean that. But before you can be true to that horse, you got to be true to yourself. And if you're one of these touchy-feely people and screwing horses up, think about why are you doing it. you need help. And why I'm saying that? Because I see more and more people out there crying for help. Not with a horse, but in certain ways they're crying for help for themselves. And that's all I'm going to talk about on here. If you want to hear more of that line, you go to Rumble and look me up. So anyway, you can find me on Rumble, where I talk life, politics, and a little bit of horses. Of course, there's my book, True to Horse, which everybody get a little bit out of it, no matter where your horse is at in its training. So, y'all take care, God bless, and be safe.